Hey guys, thank you for tuning back into AdoreDaphneyTv. I have another story time for you guys today, and this is going to be my sleep paralysis experience, my first sleep paralysis experience. If you guys ever had it, then you know that this is really scary, and I never want this to ever happen to me again. So let's get into the video. This story time happens back when I lived in Massachusetts. I was working a particular job, and in that job I would go to my clients' houses, which most of my clients were elderly, and I would go to their houses and help them. So that was my job, and I had regular clients, so I had certain clients that I'd go to their houses every day and help them out. But if someone ever called out or if someone was sick, they would call whoever's closest, which in my case it was me, to go and help out their client for the day. So I got sent to somewhere I've never been before, and it was a building, and basically in this building most of my clients I went to lived in houses, let's just say that. But this client that they were giving for me to fill in for lived in a building that only elderly people lived in all the time. Like when one person left who was elderly, another elderly person would come in. So I just remember when I went into that building, I could feel the presence of ghosts. I don't know if you guys, but I do. And nothing happened to me in the building. I just know that I remember feeling that presence of something paranormal going on just in that building alone. So that same day, you know, I did my shift. It was that night. So I watched Final Destination, and when it was done, I went to sleep. And when I went to sleep, I had a dream. Okay, so this is the dream now. In my dream, I woke up and got ready and went to work. Like, this dream was so realistic. I felt as if I was living a whole nother day. Like, I felt like in my dream I woke up and went to work. So while I'm dreaming, I'm thinking it's the next day, if you get what I'm saying, because I actually woke up in the dream. Get it? So I woke up in the dream, and then I went to work, and in the dream they asked me to fill in again. So I'm thinking this is just another day, and I'm filling in for somebody. So I'm like, okay. And in the dream I went to a building, but it wasn't the building that I went to in real life. It was just a new building in this dream. And the way I used to go to work, I used to always have like a big bag with me filled with my gloves and my folders, whatever I needed for that day. And whenever I go to a client's house, depending on who they are, they tell me where to put the bag. Like, they'll be like, oh, you can sit on the table, you can sit on my bed, you can sit on a chair, you can sit on the floor. Doesn't matter to me. It's just common courtesy to ask them where to put your bag because it's their house. I got my bag, and in my dream I went into a room, an empty room. This is, in my head I'm thinking this is my client's room, and I see 3 beds in the room, like right next to each other, like 1, 2, 3, 3 beds right next to each other with a little space in the middle, you know, not like together, but 1, 2, 3. That makes sense? Okay. So I walked in the room and I put my bag on one of the beds, and I didn't even ask the client where to put it because I did not see the client at all. I just remember me walking in. So I put my bag on top of one of the beds, and I'm just waiting, and I just remember having a bad feeling. Like, I don't know, I just had a bad feeling being in that room, the same feeling I had in real life going to that building the day before I had the dream or whatever. So when I look down, now I'm on top of one of the beds. I wasn't on the beds at first, I was just next to them, and I set my bag literally on the bed. And when I look down, I'm on the beds. I'm on one of the beds, and when I look down, all 3 of the beds turned into graves. So it's 3 dirt graves, and I'm trying to pick up my bag so I can leave off because I don't know how I got on top of the graves and stuff. And when I pick up my bag, there's blood dripping from my bag, and I started picking up my feet off of the dirt, and my feet are all bloody. And I just start looking around the room, and I'm saying sorry because I felt like I stepped on I don't know what I was thinking, but if you can try to understand what I was thinking, I was on somebody's grave and there was blood, like they just died, like they just put them in there or something. And I'm so scared because it felt so real. Just thinking about it right now, it's making me scared because it felt so real. And I start looking around and I'm saying, I'm sorry, and I'm trying to leave. And when I see I'm trying to leave, I back up and start looking around, and there's caution tape, the yellow police caution tape all around. And I'm in the middle of a crime scene, and I just start freaking out, and I just run out of the room, and I'm like trying to call my manager and telling her I don't want to go back to that client's house ever again. Don't send me back. And I was shaking, and she was trying to give me a form to sign that says I don't want to go back there again, and I'm trying to write my name, and I couldn't even write my name. That's how shaken up I was and so scared. And this is still a dream, you guys. Thank God. You guys, it felt so real. I go home and I go to sleep. This dream was basically a whole day. So in the dream, she's like, don't worry about it, you don't have to go to that person's house anymore, da da da. She didn't ask me questions, and I didn't want to tell her why, because I felt like she was gonna think I was crazy if I told her the client's 3 beds turned into 3 graves. Like, that's crazy, right? Okay, so I didn't tell her that. I just told her I didn't want to go to that client's house anymore. So in my dream, I went to sleep, and then when I started waking up, now this is real life right here. I start waking up, and this is where the sleep paralysis kicks in. I'm laying down on the bed. I'm trying to get up, and I can't, but my eyes are open, and I know I'm awake because I just know I'm awake. So I'm trying to move my hands, and I feel somebody is on top of me, and they're holding my hands down, and I can't move my legs, and I can't move my fingers, and I can't move anything, and I'm so scared. And I just hear a low demonic voice in my ear. I'm no jokes, and it started saying, I itch, and it was like the deepest, like, I itch. And it was slow and low and demonic and scary, and I never heard that voice before, but I just knew there was someone on top of me, and I could not move anything. I couldn't move a muscle. I couldn't move my fingers, my toes, my arms, anything. And it was so heavy on top of me, and I'm just like laying there, like trying to move, and I'm trying to shake, and I can't, and I'm so scared. And then it said, what did he ever do to you? 2 times, slow and low, and I swear I was like that for 2 whole minutes, and it felt so long. And I just suddenly I could move, and I was so scared. I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I've never experienced something like this in my life, and I've heard about sleep paralysis before, but I've never really gotten into it. So, you know, I'm just on the internet looking up what the fuck is, what just happened to me, like a zombie, like a spirit, like a client who, not of mine, but a past elderly person who lived in this building. Because I remember that day I had a feeling, I'm sorry you guys, I had a feeling of, you know, that building being haunted. So the fact that this was happening to me was like, whoa, like this, like my feeling was right. And I always have feelings like this before. I have feelings and something will happen, or I'll have a dream about somebody, and then I'll see them that I haven't seen them in a long time. Stuff like that always happens to me. But this right here was something new, something I did not want any part of, you guys. I was scared, and I was crying, and I called my sister, and I was texting friends, and I was like telling people I'm not going to sleep tonight. And I turned on the lights. That's when I was really thinking, like, I need to move back to Florida because this never happened to me in Florida. Like, this was some crazy type, like, demonic stuff that I did not want to deal with. I did not want this type of energy. It was an experience. I stayed up all night texting one of my friends, and he stayed up with me until like 3, until like I think I fell asleep. I didn't even care that I had work the next morning. I was not trying to go back to sleep because that is how shook I was. I started praying. I was so scared, and I couldn't even fall asleep without the gospel music playing on my phone. I wouldn't wish this on someone who would wish the worst for me. Like, that shit was really scary, and I never want to go through that again. But yeah, that's the story time of my first sleep paralysis experience, and it was just crazy, you guys, like, honestly. But if you guys like this story time and want to hear more of my crazy experiences, anything, I have a lot of story times. Just keep liking, subscribing, and sharing this video, and do not forget to follow my social media, my Instagram, my Snapchat, and if you haven't already, go watch my other story times as well as my one singing video. I will have more videos for you coming soon. I want to thank you guys for the support. Thank you again for watching AdoreDaphneyTv.